Hello. How are you doing as the days and weeks of physical distancing drag on? I've found it a bit more difficult following Easter. I'm ready to get on with life without all the constraints. But our situation requires us to stay focused on what we must do for the health and safety of all. In terms of the Christian calendar, we're now in what is known as the 50 days or the Great 50 Days, which marks the time from Easter Sunday to Pentecost. This is a stretch devoted to delving deeper into the more challenging and elusive aspects of faith or concepts we struggle to understand. During these days, I'm spending daily devotional time with the disciples who isolated themselves behind closed doors because of their fear, as described in John chapter 20, verses 19 through 31. In my mind, I sit with them as they shelter in place. Sound familiar? I listen to their conversations about all that has happened and their speculations about what will happen next. Are they paralyzed by uncertainty, or are they being prepared for the next phase of ministry and witness? I think it's important to recognize that when the world as they knew it crashed down around them, they didn't abandon each other. There was not a everybody is on your own reaction. They hung together as best they could. Their spiritual instinct, shaped significantly by Jesus, was toward community. During their time of sheltering in place, they probably recounted their memories of Jesus, his teachings, and what those teachings could mean in a threatening world. It was into the midst of this seeking, searching community that the living Christ appeared. Christ did not speak to them about retaliation. He spoke words of peace. Peace be with you. In fact, for emphasis, he said it twice. It seems even the most experienced disciples sometimes have difficulty hearing the full possibilities of spiritual truth the first time. Let's pause and think about what Jesus' words mean today. Jesus Christ, the peaceful one, shows up to speak directly to our deepest fears and concerns, even if we are uncertain about who he is and what he is about. He speaks words of peace. Peace comes in the presence of the resurrected one. I like the way biblical scholar D. Cameron Murchison puts it. The peace that is not offered by the world is the peace that comes from knowledge that, in spite of all the hurt and harm the world can and does inflict, God's compassion and care embodied in Jesus stands again in their midst, the crucifixion notwithstanding. It applies at every point where we fear that God's goodwill for the world's well-being is a pious dream, out of touch with the chaos and hatred of everyday life. For the one who offers the words of peace is the very one who endured the brunt of that chaos and hatred, yet now stands in their midst, risen indeed. May your souls hear the words of Christ's blessing on disciples who are sheltering in place or feeling isolated, alone, or fearful in any way. Peace be with you. Peace be with you.